The impoverished dwell on low ground, waiting for the river to rise up one evening and sweep them to the sea. I've seen tiny cradles sailing by the wrecks of houses, chairs, and a terrible rage of ashen water splashing terror into the sky. This belongs to you, poor man, for your wife and crops, your dog and tools, so you may learn how to beg. No water laps at the homes of gentlemen whose snow-white collars flap on the coast clothesline. They feed on the rolling morass, these ruins winding their futile flow to the sea with your dead, among rough-hewn tables and doomed trees that bobble and tumble, turning up bare roots.
Bring to me the poets, the empaths, and the artists. Those who waste time on aesthetics and ethics, and who still pray for world peace, especially in the Middle East. Bring to me those who aspire, who analyze and rebel, choosing sense over quantity and people over money, and are still blessed. Stop the overabundance of tombstones masquerading as billboards. Stop gun violence normalized on t-shirts with angels' wings and spilled beer for homies lost, taken by bullet or scourge. Bring back those brothers lost from these streets so dear to me. DeKalb Avenue, Riverside Drive, Fulton Street, Prince and Mercer all night long. Spinach quiche from the bars for breakfast at 72nd and Broadway. East-West, Cooper Union, Village Times, Bluefish, Yardsburg cheese, and brown rice fueled our flight. We never fought. Bring back my lost lover, whom I called for fun while prepping for the one. Lost himself, but I digress, my undercover brother. Undercover for truth was not the point. It was not for me, blinded by youth, and belonged only to you. Furtive and angry, joy and shame. I guess damage does come in threes when you honor your father's truth and not your own. I could be dead like you, or damaged like those other two, had I not released you with ethics, with grace, and with truth. Though no longer roaming so much at night, I still walk these streets with delight, seeking those kindred spirits who made it out in spite of scourge, in spite of drought. With grace, with truth, we made it out.
I claim this air, full of half-light and crazy dust as my own. It follows me around, asking in a hushed tone if I want to make a deal or buy a bruised heart. But hell, I'm not no 9-day wonder, a transient looking for a quick nip. The doors I run into are slashed and cracked. They totter, then fall away, leaving only the hinges as proof of their being. I read these as old books, careful and with feeling. They tell everything. So holler to the Holy Willie if you must. The ground you cover is a winter chilled by the last breath of God, the boogerman's chosen few. And yes, Veronica, all the way to the west, you kept feeding on me like a dark stranger come for collection. I paid what I had, and now count myself out of love with you.
New York City, Israel Day Parade, June 2nd, 2024. I see the flag, take a photo, tell myself I will write a poem titled Partners in Genocide. Find, however, that no additional words by me are needed.
The title is Two Things That Are Not Equal. Hamas is not equal to Palestinian civilians. Palestinian civilians are not equal to Hamas. The title is Let's Do Some Geography Lessons. And the poem says, Kamala, 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 where is Palestine? Where is Palestine?
What if I'm in Gaza City and it's hair washing day? Think of that necessary, repetitive, homey task, hair washing day. Then think you are in Gaza City, 13th of October, 2023, under evacuation order. That order standing on the edge of the mass grave to jump in or be shot here on the edge while the world stands by. Or in. I have written this poem many, too many times. Do you feel it now? The hot water, the steamy soap, the squeaky strands, and the dust and the blood and the bombs and the dirt. Where are you now? The world in a strand of hair.
At the crack of dawn, rushing to watch the update on Gaza, a friend shares a post from Al Jazeera. A journalist describing chilling details. Wearing a bulletproof vest with press plastered on his chest, stone-faced, Mu'min Asharafi, narrating about his 21 family members, all perished from an airstrike, dropping barrel bombs. His mother sending a last message telling him how much she missed not seeing him. Naming all of them one by one, stone-faced to the end of the report, brave soul, survivor of an atrocity, my tears falling like a bloody river over his misery, reminding me of my own family that perished from the napalm bombs of 1967. Watching hundreds of naked men ordered to kneel down blindfolded in the carnage of destroyed streets, stripped of their dignity. This enemy is insisting to relive days of Warsaw ghettos, of World War II. Vengeance is their calling. The world can't seem to stop this brutal army till they are satisfied of spilling so much blood, till they keep killing the children of the future. I can't seem to stop screaming.
Demolition, Chizma. She stood holding a pillow, clutching the tail of her shirt, peering through the toppled window frame open onto the gray concrete heap. The edge of the torn red curtain unveils echoes of bulldozers wrecking her father's hunched body held by the groove of dismayed land, his toddler's hand resting on his dusty hair, yearning to fix his father's brokenness. At a distance, a soldier's bored stare thunders upon the arid hills. She stood holding a pillow, clutching onto the engraved memory. Demolition, Der Amal. Somewhere in South Hebron Hills, there is a girl holding a pillow, torn red curtain, concrete heap, remnants, 52 weeks, 957 concrete heaps. Echoes of rage dance within the walls of Carolina's comfort. A broken father fills his pockets with his shame. Gray rubble, gray dust, gray sun rays color the forgotten. I write my red screams in the deafness of here. The bulldozers has no pocket and no shame. Wrecking. In the gray dust, a soldier is cursed. Being there is etched. The radio mumbles lies, and I wonder, how could they? A toddler's son, hunched over torn gray curtain. 3,000 keys scattered on concrete piles without doors. Dinner hummus, labneh, Carolina kitchen, shards of sentimental food, penance to the distance. Somewhere in South Hebron Hills, there's a girl holding a pillow.
And it makes sense to me to begin with the title poem itself, and that is floaters. And people, of course, want to know, what does that mean? They have theories. This is what it means. You might recall 2 Salvadoran migrants, father and daughter, who came to be known as Oscar and Valeria, drowned crossing Rio Grande in June of 2019. A photograph of their bodies went viral, sparking outrage and grief and trutherism. A post in the I'm 1015 Border Patrol Facebook group charged that the photo was faked. The poem speaks to the photograph and the conspiracy theory behind those charges. So floaters takes its title from the term used by certain members of the Border Patrol to describe those who drown crossing over. Epigraph. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and ask, have you all ever seen floaters this clean? I'm not trying to be an ass, but I have never seen floaters like this. Could this be another edited photo? We've all seen the Dems and liberal parties do some pretty sick things. Anonymous post, I'm 1015, Border Patrol Facebook group. Like a beer bottle thrown into the river by a boy too drunk to cry. Like the shard of a styrofoam cup drained of coffee, brown is the river. Like the plank of a fishing boat broken in half by the river, the dead float. And the dead have a name. Floaters, say the men of the Border Patrol, keeping watch all night by the river, hearts pumping coffee as they say the word floaters, soft as a bubble, hard as a shoe, as it nudges the body to see if it breathes, to see if it moans, to see if it sits up and speaks. And the dead have names, a feast day parade of names, names that dress all in red, names that twirl skirts, names that blow whistles, names that shake rattles, names that sing in praise of the saints. Say Oscar Alberto Martinez Ramirez. Say Angie Valeria Martinez Avalos. See how they rise off the tongue, the calling of bird to bird somewhere in the trees above our heads, trilling in the dark heart of the leaves. Say what we know of them now they are dead. Oscar slapped dough for pizza with oven-blistered fingers. Daughter Valeria sang, banging a toy guitar. He slipped free the apron he wore on the blast of the oven, sold the motorcycle he would kick till it sputtered to life, counted off pesos for the journey across the river, and the last of his 25 years, and the last of her 23 months. There is another name that beats its wings in the heart of the trees. Say, Tania Vanessa Avalos, Oscar's wife and Valeria's mother, the witness stumbling along the river. Now, their names rise off her tongue. Say, Oscar y Valeria. He swam from Matamoros across to Brownsville. The girl slung around his neck, stood her in the weeds on the Texas side of the river, swore to return with her mother in hand, turning his back as fathers do, who later say, I turned around and she was gone. In the time it takes for a bird to hop from branch to branch, Valeria jumped in the river after her father. Maybe he called out her name as he swept her up from the river. Maybe the river drowned out his voice as the water swept them away. Tanya called out the names of the saints, but the saints drowsed in the stupor of birds in the dark, their cages covered with blankets. The men on patrol would never hear their pleas for asylum, watching for floaters, hearts pumping coffee all night on the Texas side of the river. No one, they say, had ever seen floaters this clean. Oscar's black shirt yanked up to the armpits, Valeria's arm slung around her father's neck, even after the light left her eyes, both face down in the weeds back on the Mexican side of the river. Another edited photo. See how her head disappears in his shirt, the waterlogged diaper bunched in her pants, the blue of the blue cans. The radio warned us about the crisis actors we see at one school shooting after another. The man called Oscar will breathe, sit up, speak, tug the black shirt over his head, shower off the mud, and shake hands with the photographer. Yet, the floaters did not float down the Rio Grande like Olympians showing off the backstroke, nor did their souls float up to Dallas, land of rumored jobs and a president shot in the head as he waved from his motorcade. No bubbles rose from their breath in the mud, light as the iridescent circles of soap that would fascinate a 2-year-old. And the dead still have names. Names that sing in praise of the saints, names of flower and blossoms of white, a cortege of names dressed all in black, trailing the coffins to the cemetery. Carve their names in headlines and gravestones they would never know in the kitchens of this cacophonous world. Enter their names in the book of names. Say Oscar Alberto Martinez Ramirez. Say Angie Valeria Martinez Avalos. Bury them in a corner of the cemetery named for the sainted Archbishop of the poor, shot in the heart saying mass, bullets bought by the taxes I paid when I worked as a bouncer and fractured my hand 40 years ago, and bumper stickers read, El Salvador is Spanish for Vietnam. When the last bubble of breath escapes the body, may the men who speak of floaters, who have never seen floaters this clean, float through the clouds to the heavens, where they paddle the air as they wait for the saint who flips through the keys on his ring like a drowsy janitor till he fingers the key that turns the lock and shuts the gate on their babble-tongued faces, and then they plunge back to earth, a shower of hailstones pelting the river, the Mexican side of the river.
Yeah, come on. Come on.
There's another side to see, to understand reality.
culture is slain. Plain and simple, train of thoughts invincible. My brain's a symbol. Raise my potential, you gain the info. Sinful, my inside is tight, like it's the lactite. Make the paper bleed, wield the dagger when I write Excalibur slice. Infallible mic, squad is like my caliber. Sorta like an insatiable appetite. Pull, Marvin Hagler like packaging right. See it clear, like a fiend after a hit of the pipe. Just a neophyte, pull neo like a such as Neo Geo multiplied by 40,000 gigabytes. Solidify my square, flying a lid. Blind fear, wanna press pause on all the bullshit that I hear. I appear like Muhammad in Medina with Khadijah connect work. Get the gift of motion and paraplegics. Only plan allegiance to my awareness. Where the 1% collect the rent. Got the nerve to call it finish. We lost though from DC to Moscow. My soul's a cosmos. My thoughts full of chaos dope. Murder chaos flow. Full of nuance dope. Who the best? Stupid question like who wants dope? Fade long gone. We prosper. They long gone. Why the DJ spinning when they hate y'all song? Piece of Trayvon and